barbershop conversations. Make sure you guys win the first 5 hours of your day. And before I start my workout, I had a chance to watch Coach Malachi's interview with Terence Crawford. Like I said, send me everything. I'm subscribed to Coach Malachi, and I didn't even see that he did an interview with Terence Crawford. So please, I literally just got done with it about 30 minutes ago. And good interview. I like the edits that he put in there too, because that substantiates the question and or answer that Terence Crawford gives. And I'm not critiquing his interview. I just thought it was a good, solid interview. We didn't get any new information. But here's what I thought he was going to ask. You know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. When he asked about Terence Crawford, it was no follow-up questions. Maybe he just went by a script. But when Terence Crawford said, "We made the fight," and this and that, that was your chance to not necessarily go viral, but for historical purposes. Like, what was the conversation? How many conversations? Who was it? Was it Al Heyman? What was your conversation with Al Heyman? Maybe he didn't want to know those answers. But, and two, Terence Crawford said at the end of the interview, he said family and God and Coach Malachi referenced Club Shay Shay's interview. But the biggest thing that went viral, maybe because I've talked about it, but I've seen it on other platforms. The biggest thing that's gone viral in that interview was Terence Crawford said he had a 7th baby. And when the person talk about God and family, and Coach Malachi values God, family, I watch him in sound bites. I don't watch him for his whole show, but I watch him on his Instagram feed, and he talks about family and God and owning the house and the separation from the Nation of Islam. And I'm prefacing because this is what he does. He prefaces his answers. Oh, man. You didn't ask Terence Crawford about that 7th baby. And I believe Coach Malachi platform was created because he watched my show one night about the other side not getting a fair handshake. And one of the reasons you have a relationship with Terence Crawford is because you chose the other side. And I believe that was needed at the time. You know what I mean? Because media was definitely slanted towards Spence, and right or wrong. And obviously I was slanted towards Spence as well. So your side was 100% needed, but you got to hold that side accountable too. The same way you can bring me on your platform and hold me accountable, and I say you can ask me any goddamn thing you want, you got to hold Terence Crawford to his contradictions. Terence Crawford is a hypocrite and a contradiction because he talks about God and family and brags about never being married. Coach Malachi is married, to my knowledge. That's all I'm saying. Like, your platform, as you boasted and bragged about, is about the LDBC. And let me be clear. I agree with some of the stances you say. Agree with it. That's why I've never joined a group, because some of the things the LDBC do is wrong. Some of the things they do is right. I don't. Now, this is years ago now. I'm not subscribed to many of them now, you know. But that's why I consider Coach Malachi a friend. But you're the only person that's going to, the same way I can ask Deontay Wilder tough questions, same way I can ask Earl Spence tough questions, same way I believe Terence Crawford wants you to ask him a tough question. Same way I can sit down with Gary Russell and we go viral the whole pandemic. Same way I can tell Bob Arum to apologize. And that's the gift and the curse of journalism. You get the interview because of your relationship, right? It's an earned relationship, right? And then you got to ask the questions that they may feel uncomfortable about. That's it. I think Coach Malachi is needed. I don't keep abreast, so I'm not attached to everything he says daily like I was during COVID, because in the middle of the day, obviously I'm working and picking up the kids and we go straight to the gym. But I do watch his stuff that he posts on Instagram. 100% needed. Just like 100% the LDBC is needed. Just like 100% the truth is needed. If you're going to call me a hypocrite, or I agree, there's some hypocritical topics in me, but I've grown. I'm 47. So it's not making the same. It's not the fact that you made a mistake at 22. It's being the same person you was at 22. And that I'm re-editing. I'm editing Muhammad Ali's quote, right? So that's I thought it was a good interview, solid interview. No new information. It's solidified. You have a relationship with Terence Crawford, but I thought you would get into Terence Crawford, like family life, and but it was just no new information. I applaud you for getting the interview, but these hypocritical points, and then I think you're perfect for the job. Because when you go to the other side, you're going to hold Bill Haney accountable for being a hypocrite, right? Bill Haney is a hypocrite in some degree. This is why I could say things, right? Like you can't be Islamic and still, right, be a street dude, street credibility. Let's just leave it at that, right? And you can't beat a woman and then say Black Queen. What's the other man's name? Damn. The kid's son. And I think Terence Crawford can't mention family and God and then brag online about stepping out with the seventh baby and brag about being single and never married. That's all I got, man. But overall, this ain't a shot at Coach Malachi. I think he'll be appreciative of this video. But you got to hold Terence Crawford accountable too. And that's all I'm gonna say. Like he's earned it because he's publicized it. And Canelo got 3 baby mamas too, but he's married now, right? He's married. And but I guess me and Two-Tone the Superstar. Hey, by the way, I don't know Two-Tone the Superstar, and I may never meet him in my life. The kid is funny. You know what I mean? And I will be honest, I get most of my news from like Blue Blood, Drew Titan, and Coach Malachi, like on their Instagram feeds especially, right? Because I don't watch long form interviews anymore. I'll be honest, I don't watch them. I'll be honest. Me and Lincoln do more film study than anything. Like he got 2 games a day. We about to have film study literally as soon as I get done with my workout. So, and I want to be clear, this ain't no shade. I think Coach Malachi understands where I'm coming from. He said this channel was birthed from me being one-sided. That's fair. That's fair. I ain't got no qualms with him. I consider him an internet friend of mine. I've never met him. I consider him an internet friend. You know what I mean? If he comes to LA, I would be glad to offer him dinner. No big deal. This ain't no quorum or oh, Fred, you think you bet? No, it's their turn. I've always told Coach Malachi, it's his turn. You're the new wave. You and Two-Tone the Superstar, y'all the new wave. It's your turn. Fred is done. I'm never coming. I shouldn't say never. As of today, I'm not going back to boxing. I'm just a satire guy now. You know what I mean? I just I juggle the truth now to throw it in your face now. You know what I mean? And to say I was right. And another thing too, I'm gonna say this. I was the biggest influence in terms of media on Spence and Crawford. I don't know when they're going to say it, but ask Bomac. Bomac didn't have the information. I fed Terence Crawford the information through my YouTube videos. I fed Earl Spence the information through his friends, through my interviews. Yeah. And what happened? They finally called each other. In my interview, I told Earl Spence, you should have hollered at me if you don't know how to make a fight. I know how to make a fight, dog. And I would have been the best promoter of this fight because Terence Crawford don't like me. History will prove me right. Just like I showed the timeline of when PBC would be gone and Lil Steven was a liar and y'all believed that side. And I was standing all alone holding my morning smoothie, win the first 5 hours of your day. I was a coon. I was a cracker. I was an Uncle Tom. I married a non-black woman. Y'all remember all them comments? But today, I stand here as a man of integrity, working out in his home gym. I ain't got to go downstairs and go to the apartment. I ain't got to go to 24-Hour Fitness, even though I have a membership. I got a membership to 24-Hour Fitness, a private gym. I got membership to 3 different gyms, dog. Because I go to 3 different parts of my life. I make sure I get a workout in. I spend $200 or $300 a month just on gym memberships, right? And half my workouts are at home or running up the neighborhood, right? And shout out to the people that be honking at me. Hey, real talk, subscribers be honking at me when I be running, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. It's cool to see because they DM me, you know. Thank you. But I was the biggest influence outside of Earl Spence and Terence Crawford and the people that signed their name on those contracts. The external or you got primary, the secondary, I was number 1. They gonna tell you sooner or later. Why don't you ask them? I was the biggest influence. I fed them information. I was on the phone on mute. Yeah, I was on the phone on mute. They got people at PBC, people at Terence Crawford team that love me, dog. Yes. Top ranked PBC, Terence Crawford, Earl Spence. They love me for getting on here telling the truth because I say things that they're not willing to tell their friends. I can tell Terence Crawford. I can tell Earl Spence he need to leave Al Heyman and go holler at Turkey Al-Rashid. I can tell Danny Garcia. I don't know Danny Garcia well, but you better go get that Conor Ben money before it's too late. Earl Spence, you better go get that Conor Ben money before it's too late. You better drop your pride and fight Keith Thurman on a Turkey Al-Rashid card. Don't go the pay-per-view route here in America. Drop your pride and get your 5, 6, 7 million. I think Terence Crawford needs to be held accountable, man. You can't sell me. See, you can't sell me on family, which I respected him for. My whole respect for Terence Crawford is his family. For real. I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. I respect him because he valued family. Go check my videos. Yeah. We're playing the Long Beach Sixers. No. We gonna watch film in a bit. All right. Eat your breakfast, champ. Lincoln walking downstairs. He hears my voice. He knows I'm doing my morning workout. But I gotta go watch film with Lincoln, so I gotta start this workout. Coach Malachi, good job. Overall, good job. But if Terence Crawford responds to the viral stuff, you got to ask him about it. All right? Got to ask him about it. You have to. The same way I'm looking forward to interviewing Deontay Wilder soon. Like, I don't prefer to watch Deontay Wilder again. When he get on a winning streak, yeah, I'm still a friend of Deontay Wilder. But how he lost the last 2 fights against people that he would have knocked out 2 years ago, you know? I mean, it's not 2 years ago, but before COVID, Father Time is undefeated, you know? I can have this conversation with Deontay Wilder. That's why my interviews are so compelling. This is why I had y'all in a headlock during COVID, because I'm going to bring Tyson Fury's partner on and ask him, where the gloves at? Did you cheat? This is why I'm going to bring Bob Arum on is, are you racist, Bob? This is why I could bring Cameron Duncan on and say, is Top Rank racist? Those are my interviews, man. You on your way, Coach Malachi, but you got to ask the tough questions, even if they're on your side of the fence, even if they're on your side of the street, and then what Earl Spence said. I thought it was a good interview. No new information, but you're just starting. You're just starting asking one-on-one interviews, and it's your turn. It's your turn. You're going to be a master someday, and I'll be watching. This ain't no shade. And based off the relationship that Coach Malachi and I have, he will respect this interview. But somebody in the media got to ask Terence Crawford about family. Why? Because that's what he built his career on, family. Track meets, wrestling events, posting it all day, all the time, and then come out and say you're single, and then you bring the information to the table? I'm curious. But y'all go ahead. He got to answer this question, dog. He has no way around it. I'm gone. Peace. And by the way, I am the biggest contributor and advisor to Earl Spence Terence Crawford fight. They're going to say it sooner or later. It was me. It was Fearless Freddie. Peace.